Hello. A very good evening to all of you, and thank you for joining in. Can you please confirm if I'm visible, audible, and is this scribbling working? Hello. Hi. Uh, great. Thank you. Thank you very much. Cool. We'll wait for 5 minutes and then we'll get started. Today, we will look at a new business case study. How many of you have read about this case study? Give me thumbs up, thumbs down, anything. Have you gone through the document? Okay. Okay. No issues. So we'll go through the document and we'll try to understand what is the goal in solving this business case study. Okay, cool. Let's start in 3 minutes. Okay, 3 minutes. What is the usual attendance for this batch? Usual attendance 10, 20, 30. Okay. Shall we get started? Give me a thumbs up if you can start. This attendance is not visible. Okay. Okay. When it was started, it was around 90. Okay. Cool. Okay. We'll wait for 1 more minute and then we'll get started. Hello, Krupali. Hello, Snehal, Naveen, Krupali, Biswarup, Anil, Avijit. Hello, hi. Cool. Is the font okay, or should I zoom in a little bit? Is this okay? Is this okay with everyone? Is this visible? Great. So let's get started. Okay. I don't think anyone will join. This business case intro is going to be very small. For example, this will go for around 20-25 minutes, not more than that. Also, this is an easy business case study. Okay, so the second one, which is the Twitter NER business case study, that is going to be a little bit tough in comparison to this is very easy. So what we have covered so far, can anyone list down some topics that we've covered so far in NLP? Anyone would like to go ahead? So we've covered basic vectorization techniques, right? Basic TF-IDF. Yes, very good. Sentiment analysis, neural networks, very good. In NLP, Biswarup, in NLP, what we have covered: topic modeling, bag of words, very good. Skipgram, very good. Word to vec, very good. See, wow, continuous bag of words, very good. How many of you feel you're comfortable with these concepts as of now? What are your feelings? How are you able to understand what word to vec is? What is the importance of word to vec, and how did we arrive at word to vec from basic count vectorizer, TF-IDF, and all of those things, right? So are you able to understand slowly why there are some pros and cons of one technique, and then we shifted from one technique to another technique, right? Because in the entire module, we have created the scripts or the lecture content in such a way that one topic builds on top of another, right? Because if you'll not be able to appreciate why we created word to vec, why we have skipgram, why do we have cbow, what is topic modeling? Okay, so it is going to be an exciting journey for the next, I think, 7-8 more classes till bird. Okay, Cool. So the first business case study is only for the first few topics that you have studied. Okay. For example, Word2Vec and CBOW or Skipgram, whatever you are comfortable with, you can create vectors using that. Okay. So this business case study is based on a company. Okay. This is a Gurgaon based company, which goes by the name Flipit News. Okay. They aim to revolutionize the way Indians perceive business news, finance news, and capital market investments. So basically, this is a news channel or a news service provider which focuses mainly on topics which are related to money. Okay. Now they want to implement some AI and machine learning into their product. So they want to enhance the financial literacy of average young Indians, or for, let's say, for any Indian who wants to consume their news articles. Okay, how many of you use money control? Give me a hands up. Give me a thumbs up. How many of you use money control or any application to consume business news, finance news? Just to understand. Okay, this is one of the same companies. So here they want to, through their smart content discovery and contextual engagement, they want to simplify. They want to simplify these three things: business, finance, and investment strategies for millennials and for first-time investors. That's their goal. Okay. Now this business case study revolves around only news articles. Okay, only the news articles. So the goal of this project is to use a bunch of news articles extracted from companies' database, and they want to categorize them properly into politics, technology, sports, business, and entertainment, and based on the content of the article. Okay, based on the content of the article. Now, what is our goal here? Our goal is to understand the article. Let's say I have an article here. I want to understand the content here, and then I want to classify this. I want to classify this into politics, technology, sports, business, and entertainment. These are my 5 categories. Now, how do I do that? How do I do that? How many of you are aware about some classification methods? We have learned that in ML. Can you guys name a few of the classification algorithms that you may have studied? I'll wait. I'll wait. Huh. Decision trees, yes. Log regression, naive Bayes, random forest, GBTT. Very good, very good, very good, Abhijit. Very good. Very good, Visurup. Okay. So here we have a data set. Okay, this is a labeled data set. Here we have an article. So this is a CSV file where the first column is my category. So technology, business, sports, entertainment, politics, and then we have different categories here. And based on these categories, we have articles. We have articles. Okay. So this is supervised or unsupervised. We have the data. We have the labeled data with us. Okay, supervised. We have the data with us. Okay, we have labeled data with us. So now what do we want to do here? What do we want to do here? We want to understand and we want to develop the knowledge that we have learned so far, and some of the concepts only. So for example, we want to just learn how do we use or how do we remove the stop words? How do I tokenize my words? What is Acha, how many of you are comfortable with lemmatization? Lemmatization. What is the counterpart of lemmatization? Counterpart of lemmatization if I don't want to use lemmatization? Stemming. Very good, Abhijit. Stemming or lemmatization. So that's totally upon you, whichever you want to use. Okay. So lemmatization or stemming you can use. Then finally, we have to use bag of words or TF-IDF. Our focus of this business case study is to understand these concepts in great depth. And finally, some multi-class classification. Multi-class classification. What do we get from here? What do we get from here? Bag of words and TF-IDF. What is the output? Final output. I have a sentence. I have some textual data. I want to apply bag of words or TF-IDF onto that data. What do I get finally? What sparse matrix? Very good. Vectors, right? Abhijit, what we are getting? We are getting vectors. Vectors for our textual data, right? Numbers 0101, which are representing the textual data. Is this cool with everyone? Is this cool with everyone? Very simple, right? Cool. Next, so what do we have to do here in this business case study? What are we looking for? Okay. The first thing we want to see you install and import basically the important libraries. Okay. How do you load the data set? Preliminary analysis, all importing the important libraries. You can use NLTK, you can use Spacey, you can use Jensen. So there are different libraries available. Whichever you're comfortable, use that. Okay. Next, we want you to understand the structure of the data set. This is a very easy data set, right? Very easy data set. Just some rows and two columns. One is category and one is article. Next comes the important part. Create a user defined function to process the textual data. What is the textual data of our concern? It is the news articles that we have. The second column, article. What are our goals? Okay, first, remove non-letters. Everything else, right? Dot, question mark, hashtag, all of those things. Then remove the stop words, is, and, the, of, all the extra words, stop words. Then tokenize the text. Tokenize the text. And see, in this class, I'm not going to tell you how do you do this, okay? Because you have done this in class, and I want you to experiment, and I want you to explore different possibilities of performing these tasks. Okay, performing these tasks. If you have any problem, just let me know. I'm available. Okay, I'm available on Slack and WhatsApp. I'll share my contact details at the end. Then you have to perform lemmatization. How many of you can perform lemmatization? Give me a hands up. Thumbs up. See, I'm asking you this again and again so that I get a sense whether you'll be able to solve this business case study or not. Okay? Because if you're not, I'll help you out. Okay, I'll help you out. No worries. Because this is the first business case study here. Great. Now, you need to display how a single news article looks before processing and after processing, right? Two things, before processing and after processing. And then finally, you need to encode the target variable, which is my category. There are 5 categories here: technology, business, sports, entertainment, and politics. You need to encode them. How many of you know how to encode? Give me a thumbs up. Encoder, label encoder, ordinal encoder 012, or you can create sparse 01010. Encoders, right? Simple encoders. Great. Next, create an option for user to choose between two options. One is bag of words and one is TF-IDF. You can add more. Okay, you can add more vectorization techniques here. You can add more. If you want more, you can add more. But this is the bare minimum. Only two, bag of words and TF-IDF. If you want to add more, you can add more. Feel free to add more techniques here. Okay. Next, our same process. Create a test and train split. Train a naive base classifier model. Simple, naive base, nothing complicated, simple, a naive base classifier model. And try to understand the model's performance and plot the confusion matrix. Simple confusion matrix. And try to create a classification report. Very easy, right? You have done this multiple times. How many of you feel comfortable in creating confusion matrix, understanding confusion matrix, validation accuracy, my model's performance? How do you evaluate that? How do you evaluate whether it is overfitting, underfitting, and all of those things? Okay, we have done this multiple times. ML1, ML2, NN, CV. We have done this multiple times. Great. Next, you need to functionalize the code. How many of you know what is functionalizing a code? Give me a thumbs up. Functionalizing a code. Functionalizing a code. This terminology. I want to functionalize a code. Very good, Biswarup. Based on user input. Okay. So imagine you are creating a naive based classifier. Okay. And then you want to create a decision tree. And then you want to create nearest neighbors and then random forest. So are you going to repeatedly write the code for these 4 classifiers? Yes or no? No, right? It does not make any sense for me to write the same code again and again. Train test, then evaluation, and then confusion matrix and all of those things, right? You don't need to do that. So how do you functionalize the code? Functionalizing the code simply means create a function, right? Create a function which is accepting a parameter as these classifiers, and then store their results based upon whatever classifiers that you have used. Simple. Okay. Now you need to evaluate these 3 classifier models: decision trees, nearest neighbors, and random forest. And finally, you need to observe and comment on the performances of all these models. Now this is just a bare minimum, right? Decision tree, nearest neighbors, random forest. If you want to add more classifier, you can do that. There is one more thing. You can create, or you can also use a neural networks. Okay, if you want to create a dense neural networks, deep neural networks, you can also do that. How many of you want to try training a neural network here for this type of data? I think this would be an interesting use case, right? You can try this. Try to create a neural network, a simple neural network. Let's say 3 hidden layers, and let's say, okay, it totally depends on you. Okay, try with different hidden layers, different activation functions. Try and evaluate the performance here. Okay. Now there are some evaluation criteria. There are some points. For example, for importing the libraries and reading the data points, it is 10 points. Exploring the data set is 10 points. Now, the most important, pre-processing textual data. This constitutes 30 points, which is removing non-letters, tokenizing the test, removing stop words, and lemmatization. Okay. Then encoding and transforming the data, encoding the target variable, bag of words, TF-IDF, train test level. This is 20 points. Okay. Avijit is saying chance of overfitting as dimensions are already huge and having more test layers would be packed. Yes, that would do, certainly. But you can try hyperparameter tuning, right? You can try. I want you to try. Okay, hoga, nahi hoga, that's a separate thing. Just try. Let's see what happens. If you have this type of data, obviously we're not going to use simple classifiers. We're going to use deep neural networks later on as well, right? So how do we understand and how do we reduce the dimension? Avijit, what are the techniques? How can I reduce the dimensions? Do you know any techniques? Dimensionality reduction techniques? Very good, very good. PCA, principal component analysis. Very, very good. So you can do all of those things as well, right? You can do all of those things as well. So you'll get sparse vectors, sparse matrices. How do you condense them? How do you find important vectors? How do you find important features out of that? So you can do that. Okay, that is one of the possibility, one of the many possibilities. And this business case study is open-ended. You can try out anything you want. You can try out anything you want, whatever you feel comfortable with. Okay, Abhijit, that's good. Give me a thumbs up. Great. Next, we have 30 points for model evaluation and training. One is for simple naive Bayes, and then functionalized code for decision tree, nearest neighbors, and random forest. And finally, there are some questionnaires. Okay, there are some questionnaires that we need to answer. So, for example, how many news articles are there? So, how will you get this? I'll get this simple shape, right? The data set that we have, I'll try to find out the number of rows. Each row contain one article. So I'll get the number of news articles. I think there are approximately 2,200 something, 222 something articles. Okay. Most of the news articles are from a particular category. How will you find this? Any suggestions? How will you find this? Simple value counts, right? PD.value counts. You can use group by bhi ho sakta hai. Yes, you can create group by and try to find out the number of values in each group. Very good. Then only certain number of articles belong to technology category. Now, after doing value counts, can you fill in the blanks here? Can you find out the number of articles in technology? Very good, right? Very, very easy. Next, what are the stop words and why should they be removed from the text data? This is a question, okay, that you need to write answer in a line by line. This is a theoretical question. You need to understand what is stop words, what are stop words, and why we need to remove. So how many of you feel that you have understood what are stop words and why do we remove the textual data from our textual data? Right, they add noise, unnecessary noise, right? And there are huge in numbers of the is and the these words. There are so many. So sometimes while creating classification models, model tend to get confused कि भाई यही important है. Is this the important word? Because the frequency of that word is so much, right? So generally we try to avoid all of those words. Cool. Next, we need to explain the difference between lemmatization and stemming. I mean, if you understand what is difference between stemming and lemmatization, just give me a thumbs up. You understand this, right? Very, very easy. Changing, or let's say changed, everything converted to Chang, right? Everything extra here and everything extra on the left hand side and the right hand side, they are removed. And on the other side, I'm not naming which is which, right? I'm not saying stemming and what is lemmatization. The other one is that we convert each and every word to its root form. So changing will become change. Changed will become change. Changed will become changed. So all the different words will become its root form. Avijit is saying, very good, Avijit. And Avijit, is lemmatization costly or is stemming costly? Costly in the sense processing power, processing, lemmatization. Very good. These are important questions. Okay, Vijit, will be asked these questions. There is one more thing. Why do we call this stemming? From where did we get this term stemming? There's an interesting theory, right? So imagine there is a tree. Yes, tree. So we cut those trees, right? We cut those stems, right? After they've outgrown what is the desired length, we cut them. So that is stem. That comes from there. Very good, Abhijit. Next, You need to find the shape of train and test after 25-75 split. That is very easy. So you'll create out of 2,200 data samples, 75-25 split. That would come at around 1,600 and 600. Okay. Now we need to answer these important questions. Which of the following model is found to be best performing? Is it random forest, nearest neighbors, or naive Bayes? How will you compare this? Any ideas? How will you compare these? Avijit, Snehal, and we have other folks as well. Naveen, Biswarup, Anil. What are your thoughts on this? Accuracy, test score. ठीक है, ठीक है. Now this is, I'm leaving area under the curve. Yes. Now I'm going to leave this answer on you. ठीक है. Is accuracy a good measure to use here? Is test score a good measure to use here? Is area under the curve good measure to use here while comparing different classification models? This answer we have to figure out. Okay, this answer we have to figure out, and also we have to figure out whether these models are overfitting and underfitting. Based on that, you need to figure out whether yes, Visru, depends on the data imbalance as well. I wanted to hear this. Base depends on data imbalance. So you have to find out whether the data is balanced or not. Right? If there is, how do we treat imbalanced data? What are the techniques where we? What are the different techniques that we use to understand or to work with imbalanced data? Upsample, right? Oversampling, downsampling, class weights. Very good, Avijit. Very good. We create upsamples, downsampling, class weights. Very, very good. Okay. So you can do that. Okay. I'll just give you a hint before you start. This is a balanced data set. Okay. But I want you to try this. Please promise me that you will try this to find whether the data is imbalanced or not. Right? Try to find this out and figure out agar aisa hota, if the data set was imbalanced, how you would have worked on this data. Okay, so far you have never worked on textual data. This is a different type of data because the vectors that you will see will all be numbers. Okay, and those numbers will not be able to understand what those numbers are just by looking at those numbers. So it becomes very, very important for us to understand the other aspects. Okay, other aspects of our vectors after converting our vectors. Great. Next, according to this particular use case, both precision and recall are equally important. Now you have to comment on this. Is this true? If true, why? If false, why? Okay. Whatever your answer is, you need to answer this question whether precision is more important, recall is more important, or they both. There is a balance between precision and recall. I need to consider both of them. Okay. How many of you know what is precision, what is recall? I am 100% sure we have done this multiple times so far. Great, great. And the submission process is the same, right? You need to convert your Jupyter into PDF format and submit it on Google Drive. That's very simple. Achha, this is pretty much the entire business case study. Any doubts in the business case studies? What you have to do? No. Is everything clear? Give me a thumbs up. If the business case study, the goal of solving, what are we trying to solve, is 100% clear to each and every one of you. This is important, right? Because if we don't understand what we have to solve, we will not be able to solve. Simple. Right? Chalo. Cool. Hello, Indrajit. Hello. Thank you for joining. When and what is the next case? On NLP specifically in CBOW. Biswarup, the next business case study will be on NER. Okay, NER, named entity recognition. And in this, you can use CBOW and Scriptgram as well. Okay, you're not limited with bag of words and TF-IDF. You can use other techniques as well to create better vectors. The last business case study, which will be an open-ended business case study, will be based on transformers. Okay, transformers and advanced NLP. For example, BERT. And we're going to ask you to create end-to-end product on an NLP using. Ajay, have you guys gone through MLOps? MLOps, yes, no, MLOps. Yes, right? So you'll be using Flask or Fast API. You will be using some Python. You will be using a Docker. You will be using NLP transformers. You will be using model from Hugging Face. And we are going to create an end-to-end product using NLP. Okay, that's an interesting business case. And we'll do that after 3-4 classes. Okay. I was just saying, you don't need AWS access. Avijit, for that, you don't need access for AWS. Okay. You don't need that access. What you need is a simple Visual Studio or PyCharm or your Jupyter Notebook. That's it. and an internet connection, obviously. Nothing else. And some softwares installed. Some, for example, Docker, okay, Anaconda, Flask, or Fast API, whichever. Yes, Vishwarup, we'll have probably 3 business case studies. The last one will be open ended. Okay, we'll have a short review session for that. We'll have a discussion, not a proper review session for that. Okay. Any doubts? Any doubts before we end this session? Any doubts? Any doubts in the business case study? Or I just want to get a sense of how are the classes going. Are you able to understand the content? How are you able to understand what NLP is? Why are we creating those vectors? How to understand textual data? Yes or no? Give me a thumbs up if if you're able to understand at least 60% of it. Not completely, 60%. The rest will come after solving questions, after working on business case studies, and through practice. Through practice, as we enter the business or industry, we'll try to understand. We'll gain more experience in working on these models, working on real life problems. And this is a real life problem. Okay, there's a very easy business case study. Cool. Any doubts? Any doubts? Shall we call it a day here? Concerned or to be honest? Abhijit, there are some good news in the coming days. Okay, there are some companies, they have been approached and they want to have some good NLP data scientists. So that's why we are currently focusing. We are stressing so much on these classes. Okay, just be prepared. Okay, there are some good opportunities available coming soon. Okay, obviously the onus of getting the opportunities is on us, but passing those interviews is on you, right? How much you are prepared. And if you have any issues, I'm always here. We are always here. All the instructors are here. Okay, the project is not updated. Biswarup, is this project not updated on your dashboard? Is this the case? Give me 1 second. I'm sharing the link of this document. Just let me know if you can access this. Just give me a thumbs up if you can access this document. Thumbs down if you cannot access this. Accessible? Great. I see someone accessing this. Anonymous dinosaur. Who is this? And then there is anonymous duck. Someone is dinosaur and someone is duck today. Chala, theek hai. Cool. Let's meet. Let's continue our journey in NLP. And if you have any doubts, my name is Nikhil Sanghi. Okay, my name is Nikhil Sanghi. My number, you can note down my number. 1 second. This is my personal number. 1 second. Let me share my scalar wala number. Give me 1 second. So my scalar number is 9035852260, and my email ID is nikhil.sanghi. I'm reachable, okay, on this email ID and this number.com. So if you have any doubts related to NLP, I'm the module owner for NLP. If you have any doubts and any issues concerning the content, the business case study you're not able to solve, you're not able to understand, you need more clarification, anything extra, and anything which is not making sense, or anything that you want to be added, okay, just let me know. We'll get it done for you. And don't worry, this is a little advanced module. You may feel overwhelmed at times. Okay, don't worry. That's my simple advice. Everything will settle down with time. Since this is the first time we are going through these advanced modules, these advanced concepts, so it will take some time. You will take some time to digest these. Okay, but slowly and steadily, we'll be able to do that. Great. Chalo. Thank you, guys. Have a good day. Take care. Let's meet some other time. Okay. Bye bye. Take care. Bye bye. Have a good day. Bye bye. Avijit, Biswarup, Snehal, Naveen, Indradeep, Anil. Bye bye. Avijit. Bye bye. Have a good day. Bye bye.